Fast and Furious 8. Why is there so many of these? Fast and Furious 8 tells the story of a team of thieves, secret agents. They drive a lot of cars. Well, the leader of this team, Dominic Toretto, betrays his teammates, and now he's helping a terrorist do bad things. And his whole team has to try and stop him. I would talk about the previous films, but we'd be here forever. Like I said, this is the 8th one now. That isn't to say that, like, continuity doesn't play a part. In fact, the series is actually very good with its continuity, surprisingly. A lot of elements keep coming back that when you don't really expect it. I'm kind of surprised that, like, the Japanese woman from Fast and Furious 2 hasn't shown up. They brought back everyone else. What's the bad thing about this film? Shaky cam. God, do I love me some shaky cam? Why would I want to enjoy the choreography? Or I could just get a camera just shaking away like on a fucking boat in the middle of an earth. Not a fan. Shaky cam aside, the action in this is really, really well done. One thing I will say about the previous 2 Fast and Furious films is that the action scenes haven't really left that much of an impact with me. Like, there's a couple of moments, but I have to really think about it. But this one, pretty much every action scene has got, like, something you remember about it. From the wrecking ball during the opening escape. The first scene of this is a flaming, exploding car driving backwards. That's how they open this. And pretty much everything just, it sticks with you. It sticks with you when other films haven't. That's the sign of a good action film to me, is when it's memorable, it's got great set pieces. And this film has great set pieces. Like, the entire climax of this film is just a rush. Like, you kind of feel like you need to take a nap after watching it, with just everything happening. Just fantastic action, fantastic action. And it's got a great villain as well. Charlize Theron's playing like this kind of hacker woman who's like very good at manipulating people, and like when she's in control of a situation, you can kind of tell that she's loving having that kind of control. For some reason, I really like villains that do that, that like have already outthought the hero to that extent, but it isn't to the extent where she feels like unrealistic. Like, you can kind of tell that when, like, she doesn't know what's going on, she gets very uncomfortable and she's, like, very nervous. Like, she loves to be in control. And when that control's taken away from her, that's when she starts to, like, kind of show cracks in the armor. Just a really well done villain, especially for this series. Speaking of villains, Jason Statham's back in this. And he and The Rock are by far the best part of this film. Just, the opening scene of this is Dwayne The Rock Johnson leading a girls' football team, and I do mean the actual football, you know, where they use the feet, as opposed to the American football, where they use their hands. And he's leading them in a freaking warrior charge against this other team, and it's just the best way to introduce you to him. And the entire, like, final scene has Jason Statham, like, taking out enemies in this this plane, and just, you can just kind of tell that he's just loving being in this role. It's kind of like, he's definitely a lot less reserved than he was in, say, The Expendables. It kind of let him let his inner ham out. And I thank God for it, because I do love me some over-the-top acting, especially in an action film where everything should be over the top. But at the same time, the film knows when not to be over the top, and there's some great emotion in this. Like, there's a lot of scenes with both Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez when you can tell that they're hurting inside and they're breaking up, and it's really well done, and you do feel for these characters. And like, I never thought I'd say that from Michelle Rodriguez and Vin Diesel. You don't really like look at these guys and think, you know, an actor known for emotional delivery, but they nail it. They really nail it. Really well done. So my final verdict for Fast and Furious 8 is taking some points off for the shaky cam, but giving it back because the action's awesome, Rock and Statham are awesome, it's got a great villain, and it's got a lot of heart to it. Solid 8 out of 10 for me. So far this is probably my second favourite of the Fast and Furious films. Since I'm now doing like a lot of older movies, I want to go back and watch all these and give them all a review, and I'll probably kind of give like a final rundown of those things at the end. So yeah, if you're going to see any of the Fast and Furious movies, this is a solid one to check out.